Was that the kind of performance that you were expecting out of Leon?
Yeah, I thought it would be a very composed performance from him. And I know I keep mentioning it, but he just seems like a different guy. I never seen, and look, it's not a different guy in the way maybe people were saying Usman started, wearing his shirt off and stuff when he became a champion, but he just became very regal, very noble, very composed. Like, it almost felt as though, some people get the belt and they've had a chip on their shoulder for their whole title run and it stays there. And they're kind of talking about, why don't I get respect? Leon seems to be happy with everything. The way it's going, he seems to be taking it all in its stride. And he just, his composure all fight week was mirrored in that performance. And I was, in the third when he got the point deducted, and again, he started kicking towards that spot again, and he did nice damage over the knee, but it's so close to the foul area. That's when I was like, this is maybe his composure gone. This is him. This is maybe a bad fight IQ moment where he's nearly playing into a foul here, because it was dodgy for a few moments. But other than that, I thought he was fantastic. And as you said, the takedown defense was really good. Didn't panic at all. And his striking looked very good as well. Very dynamic.
And so I said at the top of the show, PT, that I thought this was the better result for the UFC because it keeps the division fresh. It keeps things moving along. Usman had such a dominant reign for a long time. He was able to go through, the top contenders. Obviously, there are guys he hasn't fought. Khamzat Chimaev, who knows what his situation is, Bilal Muhammad, etc. Colby Covington, he did fight. Colby Covington was in attendance on Saturday. He was in the crowd. He served as the backup fighter. He weighed in on Friday. And so let's talk about what's next here for Leon, because Colby was there, although Colby, I think actually he's done a really smart thing by staying away from the media, by staying away from the limelight. It's almost made him into a bigger star and draw now because absence makes the heart grow fonder. Leon seemed to dismiss him in the post-fight interview with Daniel Cormier and said that he was going to go to Miami, we presume, to watch Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal. If Masvidal is able to pull off that win, he is going to want that fight, Leon. But now we've got another situation where Islam Makhachev on Twitter is saying he wants Leon Edwards next. He said, I want Leon next, October in Abu Dhabi. That's the 155-pound champion moving up to 170. Not sure if that makes a ton of sense, but the point is there's a lot of options. And oh, by the way, there's an September fight between Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler at 170. And if Conor wins, you'd have to expect he'd be in the mix. Here's the point. There's a lot of options for Leon. Okay, let's just presume for this guy. You get on this fucking conspiracy thing every 2 seconds. What do you do now with Leon? Who's in pole position now for Leon Edwards?
You'd assume with Colby being there that he would have a very good chance of getting that kind of fight. But then, of course, there is depending on what happens in Miami. Islam at the moment, after fighting Volk, to go up there, look, it would be an amazing thing for him to pursue, but I just don't think it makes that much sense to do that right now. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that with contenders available in both divisions? It just feels, I don't know, that just doesn't make sense to me. As much as I admire him for saying it, I just don't think it's the way to go.
It kind of feels like the winner of Masvidal Burns. It's next month, right? Burns, had the title shot, had the fight against Khamzat. Look, if Khamzat is fighting at 170, I'm totally down with Khamzat versus Leon. It doesn't sound like he is. Maybe this changes those plans, but just yesterday, Dana White told the media he's fighting at 85. And so you've got Burns and Masvidal, you've got Bilal Muhammad out there. I don't know if, the Sean Brady win is enough. He probably needs one more. You've got Colby out there. Kind of feels like Colby needs another win, right? He just got a couple title shots, has a win over Masvidal. It feels to me, but then again, like if Masvidal beats Burns, you could say, well, then what's the difference? Why doesn't he get the title shot? But you got the story there. Could you imagine? You do Masvidal Leon. If Masvidal somehow pulls it off, and I know it's a tough test, but if he somehow pulls it off, you got to go back to the UK for that one, right? Scene of the crime, second pay-per-view in the UK, right? The gate today, Dana White said was like $9 million for a UK crowd. Holy shit. That's unbelievable. I heard
it was like the second most expensive sport event ticket to the Super Bowl this year so far.
Yeah.
That is crazy, dude.
It's unbelievable. Colby Covington tweeting just moments ago, see you in July, Leon Edwards. Colby,
You don't get to make these.
Yeah, you don't get to make the. Is everyone fighting in July? Jones, Stipe, fucking Yair and Alex. Everyone's fighting in July. I don't know if you get. And by the way, why in the world would you put Leon in Las Vegas? I don't know. Maybe he's a big. I feel like you got to keep him in the UK. Look at how he came across like a big star this week, right? With the headshot bang, the press conference. It's so amazing to see this guy who seemed so frustrated every time. Remember that press conference with the Darren Till fight in Masvidal? Like he was so frustrated with his situation, and now it just seems like he is so comfortable in his own skin. It's really a beautiful thing. It's really an amazing thing to watch. So those are the options, and we could throw it out to the people as well. Maybe we could do a little poll action on the ring. I don't know if we're allowed to do that sort of stuff. But I mean, come on. I feel like we've got an embarrassment of riches all of a sudden, right? I mean, a lot of great options. It's great.
Yeah, no, it's a great time for him. And look, it's going to be cool as well, him showing up in Miami. I mean, that's going to be quite an ovation he gets there. You'd imagine it's very pro Masvidal situation.
Oh yeah,
but that's what you want to see. You want to see the different dynamics. Look, I think Masvidal, that's going to be a hell of an achievement for him to get past Burns. But then, you know, what is the sexy matchup then for Leon? Like, what's he thinking then? It depends on, a lot of things are up in the air here, but, you know, Leon is in a very good position, without a doubt. And, I just feel as though it would be silly to take him out of the UK, as you said, because it feels like you have not only a great champion, but just a great kind of guy to be the face of the sport right now. Like, this is a different kind of guy to have at the front. Look, we all love Michael Bisping, but he's a different kind of flavor than Leon. Leon is very gentle. He has a great story as well, a story how he turned his life around. And you know what he means to the people. He represents so many different people, so many, like less represented people in Birmingham that we all had calling into this show when he won the title in tears. I think he's just a great man for the sport here and a great role model and an ambassador in the UK.
Absolutely. And all of a sudden, I mean, how about this? Leon Edwards now 12 straight as far as his unbeaten streak. And so the UFC has this graphic up saying that he's now undefeated in his last 12, but I don't know if that is fair considering how the Bilal fight went, but that's 12 in a row unbeaten. Kamaru has the record 15 in a row. That now ties him. This victory tonight ties him with George St. Pierre. 12 straight unbeaten for Leon Edwards. So what a run for this guy. All of a sudden, you know, he wins the belt. People said it was, and I'm sure there are going to be people who said that, you know, Kamaru was robbed, but I just didn't feel like Kamaru.
Can't say robbed. It's not. There is no world.
To me, it was a pretty easy fight to score. It came down to the second. It really did come down to the second.
But even if like you have a 47-47, that's not a robbery. He would have been the champion still. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Like,
yeah, no, of course. But you know, I see you always see people that are very upset. Round 2, by the way, Leon Edwards landed 23 of 26 significant strikes. Usman threw a lot more, 24 of 50 he landed. Head strikes for Leon, 9 of 11. Kamaru, 19 of 42. Body shots, 6 of 6 for Leon. Kamaru, 4 of 7. Leg strikes. The leg strikes were huge for Leon throughout the fight, 8 of 9. How about his activity in the third round, 14 of 15? How about his activity in the fourth, 12 of 13? But as far as takedowns, where's the takedown here? Well, they only give you here we go. Takedowns per UFC stats in the second round. 1 of 1 for Usman. But if my memory serves me correct, you know, Leon popped back up.
It was the knee in the second round for Leon, I think. I think if I'm thinking about the right round, it was a big knee that was like, that's the biggest shot of the round for me. That's why I gave it to him, if I remember correctly. You know, it's all happening very quickly here, guys.
Oh, it absolutely is. But I think the right man won. I really do. And it's going to be very interesting to see what the UFC does next. But now you can no longer say, and as we said on Thursday, it felt a little bit like the legacy, like the myth of that second fight would either grow or die after this fight. Now it feels like it remains intact, right? It's It's a thing, right? Is it not? Like, I feel like that remains intact. That is still a thing. Absolutely. And I would argue with anyone, like, maybe it even grows because now it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't just a Hail Mary shot. Leon Edwards is a very good fighter, and when he is on, like, if you look at that that only fight against Bilal Muhammad, but the first and part of the second round against Bilal Muhammad, like, his striking was on point. He was going to win that fight. I don't care what anyone says. When he is firing, he is firing. I mean, even the Nate fight,
improving. He's obviously improving. Like without getting into even scoring rounds, that version of Leon Edwards is so much better than the version of Leon Edwards we saw in Salt Lake City. As far as I'm concerned, he's
1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. I see Nathan Diaz tweeting about the last minute, but of course Leon had won the first 24 minutes of that fight. So, one of those classic Diaz moments. I would love Colby Covington to fight someone. I feel like he should fight someone else. I don't know why we can't get Colby versus Bilal. I feel like that's the fight that makes sense. You got Gilbert and Jorge. If Gilbert wins that, solid resume. If Jorge wins, he probably gets vaulted up. I would love to see Colby versus Bilal. Bilal is missing that signature win. I think that would be the signature win. And if Colby wins, that's a big time win to get him back into the mix. So interesting times, fun times at 170 pounds. Shout out to Leon Edwards. Now, we would be remiss if we don't call upon our fearless producer, TST, who I believe the word that was used was throttled. Was that the word that was used? I mean, going against our legion of UK friends,
it was like bludgeon,
fans, listeners.
It was a hard verb.
TST, I believe, said that this was not even going to be close, right? Like, I mean, you said that this was going to be one-way traffic from the get-go. What do you now have to say for yourself?
I have never been more willing to eat humble pie than today. I wanted Leon to win. I was fearful that he wasn't. I was shaking with nerves as the fighters were making the walk. I didn't think Leon had in him what he showed today. I didn't think that he was so confident. He carried himself so differently. It's amazing what that headshot did for his confidence. And he carried himself. He kept moving forward. The body shots were so intense, and he was getting to Usman. He just kept coming forward. Leon showed me a part of his game, a part of his will, of his spirit that I didn't know he had. I thought he got lucky in August. I thought Usman let his guard down and Leon capitalized. And I thought, Usman fought a very good fight. Leon Edwards was better. I scored at 48-46 as well. No controversy there. I'm happy that I was wrong on this. This is the result I wanted. I'm really happy Leon Edwards won. Being, UK means a lot to me. I have a lot of friends there. A lot of fans of this show are UK based, and I feel a kinship because of that moment we all experienced together last August, because of my own personal experiences with the UK and Leon Edwards. I'm really happy that this was the result.
Walking it all the way back.
Yeah. Are you not a little bit embarrassed? I mean, are you not a little bit embarrassed for, the way you were acting like it was going to be, like it was fait accompli before they even started the damn fight.
It was fait accompli. Yeah. It was fait accompli.
I'm not walking it back. I thought Usman was going to throttle him, hence why I said it so confidently. I was wrong. I am glad to be wrong.
It felt like you were shaking with like a kind of joyous passion and rage as you said it, though. You were like, God, he's gonna rip his head off. You were doing that one,
A wise man once told me to be very confident and firm in your beliefs, so that's what I was doing.
Chuck's not here, though. Don't bring him
up.
Wow. Who told you this? No, I'm just saying good on you for being that. Who's the wise man?
Oh, it was another broadcaster, Colin Cowder.
Wow. Fuck. Jeez. I thought you were giving me
Never met him.
Wow. No, never even heard of him. To be honest.